Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Salt Mines. Down here to the right, we've got Evion, the Protoss player, going for a high ground wall off, a little odd, and a very early probe scout. Their opponent in the top left, we've got Taste the Bacon, aka Pigpan's Morkie, who's actually a player I haven't seen in a hot minute. And I mean, before we talk about Morkie, let's just talk about how good it is to be backcasting the Salt Mines. I've been on holiday for a couple of weeks over in Spain following the ESL Masters event in Sweden. I was commentating, and it's been lovely. You know, I've been drinking sangria, eating paella and bloody all sorts of tapas and having a good time. And down in Seville and Granada, checked out the Alhambra. It was a beautiful time, but I have felt like I've been a little low on the sodium. And we're finally back here casting the Salt Mines, and oh man, I'm just... Basically, you can see I'm grinning ear to ear because I'm like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see some people have mental breakdowns playing a video game. It's always nice to take a little break from the salty experiences of people on ladder, but I'm especially excited because Morkie is a player I haven't actually seen in ages. He used to be featured a lot in the ICFAR show. Very creative player. I think he's like around Platinum League. I think he used to be like a pretty competitive gamer in his younger days, but is, you know, only occasionally games these days. And when he does, it's always with style. It's always with some cool strategies. He's famous because in an ICFAR challenge years ago, I put out this challenge. I said, hey everyone, show me the best ways you can use the shift key. And that obviously is to queue up commands, right? And he took it to a completely different level to anyone else. He actually queued swarm hosts to throw multiple waves of Locust Harass. Now, for those who don't know, the Locust ability, that has like, it's like a 40-second cooldown. Like, it's immensely long. But what he was doing is he would queue the swarm host to say, run here, throw Locust into this base, and then he would queue them to go back to his side of the map, and then back to the enemy side of the map, throw another wave of Locusts, and then back and forth. So he'd queued up like literally 7 minutes of swarm host harassment, hitting multiple locations ahead of time. So he had these multiple squads of swarm hosts that were just like automatically queuing across the map and throwing locusts into the enemy base. And for me, I never even realized you could queue up a command, a move command that's going to be far enough away that, or a few move commands that it's gonna, like, the cooldown will be finished on such a long cooldown, and then another one has been thrown. It never even occurred to me that you could queue up multiple abilities of it that will then, you know, be executed over 6-7 minutes. So Morkie's a creative genius. I love to see what he's got in store for us. Evion's going one base charge over here. What? Oh my god, Evion's going zealots on one base, but has taken 2 gases. I'm not sure if you guys can spot the problem with that. Depends on how high level you are in StarCraft, but let's just explain some stats for those who aren't. Zealots cost 100 minerals, gateways cost 150 minerals, Nexus costs 400 minerals, probes cost 50 minerals, the pylon costs 100 minerals. None of that costs gas. The charge costs 100 gas, and that's it. The warp gate 50 gas, and that's it. So Evion is going to be floating thousands of gas in the next few minutes unless they add some tech to actually spend that. Whoa, there's a big Ling Flood coming. Oh my god, big Ling Flood coming. That's a lot of Zealots. Zealots are very good versus Zerglings, but there's so many Zerglings. If they get a good surround, they can still do it, and they might be going after the Nexus. By the looks of it, Morkie he's actually queued this up to move in and go for an attack on the Nexus. And they're going to go in, see if we can get a surround here. The Zealots are going to come forward. Evion, let's go. Oh, those Zealots will tear through the Zerglings pretty quickly. If he can keep the Nexus alive, this is actually really good for Evion. And yeah, he does. Gets 9 Zergling kills. He's only lost a couple of units so far. Oh, Morkie with the split, though. Morkie with the split. I mean, Morkie's not macroing at all behind this, but simply splitting units into 2 locations. Oh my god, and the Zealots all go in one direction. Oh, Evion, I don't think Evion uses control groups at all. Oh no. And look at that, there's 1 Zergling in the mineral line. That guy gets 1 kill, almost gets a second. The Nexus falls on the natural. And this is some true low-level legend StarCraft here. Evion going to A-move back towards the natural. We've got 3 bases up now for Morkie, 32 drones. So yeah, if he didn't get the Nexus and the Protoss player kept probing, I can imagine this could have been hard, especially if Templar Archives went down and a few Archons came in. As it is, 8 Zealot counterattacks, very hard for Zerglings to deal with. You want to have like 4 Zerglings per Zealot, if not more than that. Right now, it's equal Zerglings to Zealots with 14 more about to pop out, maybe with the Queens as well. Morkie can hold on. The Zealots are going to be a big problem right now. The first Queen's going to fall very quickly. The Zealots in a reasonably good formation. These ones on the top do get surrounded, but Morkie backs out of it. He doesn't have the numbers to completely finish this off. He does have a Baneling Nest. Banelings do deal with Zealots pretty well, but it looks like Evion's going to get over there and do some damage. Uh-oh. Okay, Morkie losing his third would be a big issue. On the other hand, Evion also has 0 macro behind this. So we've got 2 players Tell you what, are definitely the sort of players who could only really look at one place at a time. It's not super high-level StarCraft, but let's be real, that's where the best StarCraft happens. The most unpredictable StarCraft. Nice round for Morkie. He's actually going to keep the hatchery alive. How many drones did he lose in this? 7 drones went down. The zealots. Uh-oh, watch out for the banelings! Banelings! Oh, good pullback by Evian. If Evian can get away and already those banelings not getting the best hits, then that might be okay. For now, Evian is not macroing at home. He's still just running these units around. Control groups are one hell of a thing, guys. But Evian does add the Nexus to the control group and actually queues up a bunch of probes and double chronos. Oh, imagine if Evian did that while the zealots are moving across the map. Could be at 40 probes right now. Just a little bit of doing 2 things at once. It's a game changer, gang. So anyway, guys, looks like we've got a little bit of downtime in this game. And, oh, Templar Archives does go down. So he's going to add Archons, which is a big problem for Morkie's Ling Bane. But anyway, I wanted to get back in the groove. So I was looking back on our last few episodes. You guys know I always like to talk about the lessons we learn in the salt mines. It's a show where we watch players have mental breakdowns playing StarCraft. But I also like to learn a lot of techniques for basically, you know, abandoning responsibility for gameplay and blaming the game and my opponent for everything that goes wrong. So wait, hold that thought. We got a big zealot attack. They get a queen. Watch out for the banelings. Okay, let's see if Evian knows how to split the zealots up. Oh, no. Kind of did. It was funny because Evian clicked the zealots back, but not far enough, and then split a single zealot. But by the time the zealot had been micro back, the rest of the zealots turned around and charged into the banelings anyway. Evian's still taking a pretty decent fight here. Look at the units last time. It's actually well in Evian's favor. But Evian's just never doing anything else at the same time, man. If Evian got like 4 Archons in, right? I mean, even 2 Archons, probably be game over. Morkie's got very little to deal with. It's just Lings and Zealots skirmishing. And let's talk a little bit more about those lessons. All right, so a couple of lessons we learned from the previous ones. Number 1, if the opponent's ever beating you, and this one I think really reminded me of something that I can use whenever I'm losing. If they're beating you, it's only because they have no job and no degree and are a waste of oxygen. So that's something that I often forget. You know, I often think, oh, this player's beating me and they're probably a functional human, you know, member of society. But what we remember learning there is from, I can't remember the name of the player, but they basically were like, hey, you probably don't even have a job or anything. And funnily enough, I don't know if I trust him or not, but the opponent's like, you know, I actually have a PhD. To which the player countered it with something it never occurred to me, but apparently having a PhD is also being what we call a fajot. It's a certain homophobic slur for those who you know. A lot of people have been asking me lately. They're like, "What's a fajot? What's a great?" We've got to use placeholder words that sound like certain words, guys. Obviously, to not get things demonetized on YouTube. But yeah, apparently, if you do spend your time getting a doctorate, basically you're gay. That's the things you learn on StarCraft ladder. It's the only way. Why else would you be at university for like 10 years? You must be gay. Ugh. Anyway, Zealots and Archons coming forward. That's a lot of Zerglings for Morkie. Oh my god, that is a big army of Zerglings coming. They get a nice surround of that Archon. Oh, if Evian was in a tight formation with the Zealot Archon, the Archons would have done so well, but the Archons are just getting surrounded and killed by the 1/1 Zerglings. Oh my god, Evian. If everyone just gets like 4 or 5 Archons together in a ball as well, like they can kill so many Zerglings. Right now we've got Morkie massing spine crawlers. He's got idle drones. His bases are in disarray. He does have a 4th base up. So Morkie's just, yeah, these guys are actually quite evenly matched, right? You've got mass Zealot Evian player, now adding Archons, and you've got just mass Zergling player on the other side of things. Probe's thinking of taking a 3rd, but the Lings are blocking it right now. Plenty more Zealots warping in. 8 gateways now, which is pretty effective. But 13 more drones coming in from Morkie, and that's the scary point. This is the point where the Protoss is kind of delayed getting his 3rd. He's not really doing a kill timing because he doesn't have like a warp prism or a forward pylon to warp in units on the front. And the Zerg can hold the drone key down, and within a minute is going to have like 4 bases filled with workers and endless units coming out. So this is like a point where the Protoss player like is basically getting punished for not getting their 3rd up when they should have, or hitting a decisive kill timing. That's going to make things tough for Evian. Anyway, looks like he's just going to settle into this 3rd base for now. We also learned something else as well, guys, and I wonder if we're going to see that tactic anytime soon. So what we learned in the very last episode of the Salt Mines is if you're ever losing in the video game and you're really upset, basically what you want to do is you want to type lol, 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 lol. And the more you type laughter in chat, the more you're going to disguise the fact that you're actually crying inside. So if you guys are ever feeling really sad and just absolutely like worthless in a video game, Remember, never let your opponent know. Don't show weakness, right? Sun Tzu's Art of War. Just straight up go, hey, this is so funny. I don't even care about this game. No one ever knows that you're crying. It's definitely not transparent at all, as this Overlord makes the slowest getaway of all time. I think Evion's gonna go for it, though. The Archon says, no escape for you, buddy. Does take that Overlord down. What do we got, guys? Pathogen glands. So it's going to be Infestors and Zerglings, and a lot of drones coming out. Morkie's getting a giant economy. The problem is Morkie has no meat. So even though Morkie has a big economy advantage, right now it's like a handful of Zerglings versus a bunch of Zealot Archon. The Zealot Archon wins this fight. As long as they don't headbutt into the wall of spines, they can kill the third and the fourth and absolutely ruin the day of Morkie. Morkie has a big economy advantage, but the Zealot count coming in. Banelings get a few okay hits. Evion kind of moving sideways here. Is going to go onto that base and start taking out those spine crawlers. Is trying to target the spines a little bit. There we go. Does go for a big attack move. And good micro actually by Evion. Gets on top of the base. Doesn't really lose any units at all. Takes out even a few Overseers. I don't know why we're clicking the whole army on these Overseers, but why not? 3 cannons are defending that base as well from Zergling run-bys. And that's going to be a pretty good equalizer. Unfortunately, I don't think Evion knows about this base on the left. And indeed does not. Is moving away to the right side. Neuroparasite's on the way as well as a hive for Morkie. Told you guys, Morkie's a bit of a special guy. Plays with his own style. Evion walks straight past that hatchery that goes down. You know what? I think he can win this fight. As long as he doesn't go up the ramp. Yeah, kill the Zerglings, take out the Queen. Maybe even go up the ramp as well, but I think Fungal plus Spines is going to hold those Archons and Zealots in place. And oh no, Morkie's in trouble right now. Morkie was in such a good spot, but he clicks all the Archons on the Queen and lets... Okay, most of the drones still died. If he didn't right-click on the Queen and just did like a hold position, the Archons would have all one-shot the drones. As it is, 5 or 6 drones escaped. Still not that many. Evion's in a great position, and Evion is going to do the standard transition into Blink Stalkers. Oh my god, Blink Stalkers are the worst possible unit for a low-level player to use. I think he's worried about a Muta swap, but if they're spending all their gas on Infestors, that's very unlikely. And you've already got Archons, which beat those Mutas head-to-head, even if they aren't very mobile. We've also got Plasma Shields on the way, and oh no, move command! And the Infestors are going to Neuroparasite 3 of the Archons. Oh my gosh, Evion with the move commands. A few too many right-clicks, not enough A moves there. Actually, does Morkie even have enough to kill the Archons? As they come out of the Neural, Morkie's core army count is so low. And, oh, there we go. The fag, die your mother. Okay, so going in with the old school homophobic slur, but also die your mother. I like this one. Now, what I like to always imagine when a player comes out with something like that is that English is actually their first language, but they're so mad that it's like reset the language centers in their brain to the point where that's what comes out. And they're like, Rag, die your mother! You're like, what? What did you just say? Video games. You know, it's funny because Evion's kind of winning despite playing a bit of nonsense, or was winning there. After losing those Archons, it's kind of a problem, but there's enough gas. If you rebuild the Archons, the problem is there's no Roaches or Hydras or anything for Morkie, and Zerglings are just so weak to Archon Zealot. Even with 2-1 upgrades, that's going to be a problem. Of course, the answer for Evion is to go triple Forge. That's definitely not the answer, guys. It's still just warping in nothing but mass Zealots right now. If Evion, you know, takes a couple of extra Nexi, is probably just going to win the game through outscaling the Zerg. Because, yeah, you can have as many Adrenal Gland Zerglings as you want. They're not going to beat Mass Zealot Archon. I mean, I guess if you steal all the Archons, Archons do beat Zealots. So maybe building Archons is actually the wrong idea. I guess you need High Templar to feed back the Infestors. Anyways, trying to think about actual proper play in a game like this, it's actually kind of hard for my brain because everything is so wrong in terms of the fundamentals on both sides. And I'm like, I don't even know what you prioritize fixing. There's so much to fix. Oh, no! Oh, full mineral line going down to Morkie's Baneling run by. Does lose a lot of Banelings for it. As long as you reprobe pretty quickly, that's not the end of the world for Evion. But Evion, yeah, has rallied probes out there. Actually, is way oversaturated in the main and the natural a little bit as well. Anyway, the Zealots come in. Massive Zergling surround. Oh, big Baneling hits. I did not expect Evion to keep pushing in there. I thought Evion was going to goes in, gets surrounded by Fungaling Bane. Great fight there for Morkie and Evion right now. I think that fight there, you could see the way they surrounded him. He said, this is why I was too nervous to step into the men's bathroom, you know. I thought there might be some of those rags. They were going to come and try and look at me while I was doing my business. You know, you guys know, real old school homophobia. They're like, oh, everybody, they're going to try and touch me and stuff. Like, nobody wants to, nobody wants that from you, mate. They're like, oh, I feel, if I'm in a change room and then maybe they're looking at my stuff, it'll be, and I'm like, no one cares, buddy. No, it's fine. He's just beating you in the video game, Evian. Take a deep breath and you'll be okay. Now, the Archons will counter the Ling Bane. The problem is, as always, those Infestors. The Archons aren't quite in position. A lot of these probes are just idling here. He's transferring off the base. Oh, watch out. Not again. Walking right into the mineral line and another 10, 15 probes go down. 38 probes in total. Evian's going to build more cannons behind and above the mineral line now. But this is why a few gateways on the edge is usually a necessity, just to stop those bailing angles. But you know what? I think there's enough probes. Evian can always bounce back from this because Morkie lost that base again. Doesn't have many drones up there. Morkie has 58 workers, but look, they're also massively oversaturated on that main. This base is going to run out of minerals eventually. So I feel like Evian, if you get enough Archons, oh man, that's a lot of Infestors. If you go 9 Archons and they have 9 Infestors, you're basically just building 9 Archons for the Zerg. Uh-oh. Oh no. And Evian's going mass Archon now. This would have been so good a few minutes ago, but now there's mass Infestor out. Oh no. Guys, I think we're about to witness a why are you hitting yourself moment. I think Morkie is going to bigger brother Evian. I think he's going to grab him by the wrist and be like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And Evian's going to get very upset. I think you can all see it. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I don't think we really need to have any precognitive abilities or anything like that. I think we're able to see what's going to happen. Morkie's already shown he knows how to Neuroparasite. There is no support, no zealots or storm or feedbacks to get on top of these Infestors. The Archons are going to come in. He's actually going to kill a lot of drones. Morkie didn't see this army coming. Oh, the Archons get right up in there, right in that mineral line. Get right up in there, Morty. And, oh man. Oh my god. And the Archons, look at that. He's even blocking the Archons in the mineral line with the Neuroparasites. Oh my lord. The Lings don't even need to attack here, really. But look at that. He's stolen every single Archon. Oh my god. And they're all getting individually surrounded as the Neuroparasite wears off. That Archon's actually pretty well positioned. He's going to keep neuraling them, making them hit them. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you just standing there, bro? Why are you just standing there? And motherfucker, die your mother. Okay, cool. So it's basically just any standard insult plus die your mother. This is Evian's #1 insult. You guys let me know in the comments where you think Evian's from. Is there a country where die your mother or kill your mother is like the #1 insult? Is there like a language potentially or a region where that's like the #1? Because obviously, you know, mother trucker, that's a pretty common one, right? But right now, just there's something about the syntax of these ones. It's making me think a little bit of the old. My favorite scene in the original Bad Boys film with Will Smith was always the guy in the shop who sees they have guns, and he's like, "Oh, you're trying to rob me," and they're like, "No, we're police." He's like, "You're not police. You die, mother bitch." And for me, there was just something about hearing someone say mother bitch that always just lit a gigantic candle in my heart. There's something about broken English swear words that makes me so bloody happy. It's why I always try to learn swear words in other people's languages so that I can also kind of half improperly use swear words in aggressive language, because I know it's going to bring joy to their hearts. The Lings are coming in. Morkie swarming over the top here. I mean, these are 3-1 cracklings. These do crazy damage, man. You could see the insane damage output. Trying to go for a Stargate transition is Evian. Evian's not ready to give up just yet. But the thing is, you build Stargate units, they're just going to get Neuroparasited as well and turned on each other. So what you really need is just some observers for detection on the Infestors to see them while they're burrowed, and just a bunch of High Templar to feedback them down. Once you get a bit of energy on those High Templar, you get a High Templar to like 150 energy. That's 3 Infestors it can kill with feedback. You just go pop them all, and it's super effective. And then you can have Archons and whatever else to deal with the Zerglings just fine. But instead, Evian just keeps making Archons, is not learning the lesson, even though pretty good upgrades. 1, 1, 2. So, you know, the shield upgrade is on 2. And these Zerglings going to try to run in there. Going to get a bit of a surround on these Stalkers. Battery overcharge is not too bad, but Stalkers take forever. The Stalkers are Neuroparasited. Tells them to move out of the wall and attack the shield battery that's been overcharged. The Archons are here as well. One of those Archons will turn on its buddies. Those Stalkers are going to get a Neuroparasite running out on them. That Archon's going to kill that friendly Archon. Oh, no. Oh, and now he goes for the classic Grape, but then also kill your mother. And then Mother Trucker, Rag, burn your family rat. Oh my god, why would you burn the family rat? Neural fucker, I'm in your mind, says Morkie. You are my servant now. Sorry, I'm not moving on from burn your family rat. Get a life, mother trucker. Burn your... My friend has pet rats, so it makes it even funnier because I'm thinking of some guy going into his house and trying to pick the rat up out of the cage and holding a lighter and be like, if you don't show me where the money is, I'm gonna burn your family rat. Oh, Salt Mines, I missed you so much. I love Morkie bringing out the counter there as well. He's like, you're a bitch, you know, I'm in your head, you're my puppet now. Just really rubbing salt in the wounds, because like, it wasn't a single outburst of Evian being like, oh man, are you kidding? Like, sometimes people will just say one thing out of like a bit of frustration and that's it. And they don't really mean ill. Just a moment of them going, oh man, seriously? You know, but this was like just constant, you know, and bringing out the grape as well. You know, I think Morkie was more than patient. I think a lot of us would have already kind of kicked back a little bit against the silliness. Evian, of course, now in super rage mode, is just going to try and surround a corner base with cannons. Remember, guys, always put the cannons in the front of your wall so they can die instantly to Zerglings and Banelings. And he's even dropping orange fart. Oh my god, he's farting on his base. He's doing Microbial Shroud. For those who don't know, that blocks enemy flyers from doing damage. So basically, Morkie's just literally doing orange fart gas on his opponent's base. Lings are going to find the bottom left, and man, Cracklings kill cannons so quickly. You see, oh man, look at how fast these cannons go down, and that is absolutely deliciously brutal. Come on, Evian, give us one more. Guys, what do you think the last insult will be? It's like, what I would really like is after there's been an escalation from basic homophobia to, you know, grape your mother and all this sort of stuff. I think at this point, what I'd love to see is like a sudden turn down to the point where it's like, rather than saying all this super aggressive stuff, Evian's like, oh, I was gonna hope he called him a poo bum. He's like, poo bum, you. But there's no more mother this time. Die in pain, lucker noob rat. I thought you already burnt the family rat, Evian. I do like that one though. Die in pain, lucker noob rat. There is an evolution here. Evian continuing to be absolutely fantastic with their insults. I gotta say, I really am worried. Morkie, if you do have any pet rats, make sure you get them some little fire extinguishers. You just prepare them safety drills in case a crazy person does show up at your door trying to burn the rat. Oh, and of course, guys, looks like we did have a little bit of post-game chat there. And you can see Evian really leveled it up here. The post-game chat said, yep, just spamming the homophobic slur and then burn your family. Mother trucker, die in pain, rat. Die your mother in pain, son of something, rat. I don't know what got censored when nothing else seemed to get censored. Did he type those symbols himself? Because that is the order of the symbols, isn't it? Exclamation mark, @ symbol, hashtag, $, exclamation mark. Wait. Evian just went and actually just did on a QWERTY keyboard, on my keyboard at least. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus shift. I don't know what. Evian was like, I don't actually know the worst words in English. This is not my native language, so we're gonna add in the symbols to make it seem like it censored something really bad. Well done, Evian. Primo rage, mate. All right, guys, into the next game. We've got Sated down here representing Berserker Esports in the bottom right, and in the top left, we've got 100 APM Saint. I mean, the fact that there's a Berserker tag means this is probably like a pro player, right? Sated 300 APM, or at least like a team manager or something, because Berserker Esports is like a real team. They're a real team, and they're playing with 300 APM against a 30 APM player. What is this? I mean, is this a custom game? Are these guys a frig? What is going on here? I don't know, guys. We got some real hijinks going. When I see 30 APM versus 300 at the start of the game, I'm very confused. On the other hand, Saint's actually doing a very good build order. Oh, Saint's actually doing a very good build order. Saint is not... I thought Saint was a silver player, but Saint's build order is tight. Wait. Is Saint one of these people like Winter doing a sub 100 APM challenge? Maybe. Interesting. And Sated over here, spamming like a mad dog, is actually, I mean, is up one probe temporarily, but is now going to go for what appears to be a cannon rush. But it's a delayed cannon rush? I don't know what this is. Gateway Forge, pausing probes completely. What are we doing, Sated? Oh, Satid's just doing a mineral expand. Gate, forge, expand? Wow. Wait, no, but now he's building a pylon wall off at the front. Immediate forge goes down for Saint. Saint's just going to build defensive cannons. I mean, okay, we're about to find out what happens. These guys are looking like they're at least Masters League guys, if not higher. Oh my god. Okay, does cancel that pylon walling off there. He's going to go for the cannon on the low ground and then wall it off there. And there's going to be... Wait, why are we building 3 pylons? This is such an inefficient cannon rush, guys. Printf is so upset right now seeing this. The Zealot's going to go after that pylon now. Canceling the Forge for Saint, maybe a little bit underestimating the damage that could come in. But Satid, you don't want to let all these pylons finish, dude. That's a big waste of money. And there's no Nexus behind this, so Satid needs to do more damage. Is going to start probing up, has a gas mining and a cyber core there. An extra cannon does start up. Now, that probe needs to provide the high ground vision, so Satid's going to do a pretty good job of that. As long as that probe stays on the ramp, you can see everything just by standing the probe like here. But a Stalker's going to come out. As long as that kills the probe, but you don't have high ground vision, Satid's rush is pretty much over if that probe goes down. Behind it, it looks like he's going to try and go out and scout for a counter proxy. Proxy Void Ray counter can be very scary in this scenario. Satid, I'm just excited, guys, because this is actually a high-level game. Saint is like one of these really technical players that's able to play with very slow hands. You know, everyone complains StarCraft's just a mechanics game. It's not about actual strategy. Well, Saint's one of those people who shows, hey, if you just play, you can play pretty high-level StarCraft as long as you know, study your reactions. But, oh no! A bunch of probes accidentally got pulled off mining there. Big mistake. I don't know how long they've been idle. The Stalkers will start breaking out. Stargate and extra cannon battery going up at the front. So these ones can get killed, these front cannons and pylon. But the rest will be able to survive there. I like the probe there trying to get some extra shots off. But behind this, the Robo's already up. If Saint gets an Immortal out really quickly, it might be able to bust down. Otherwise, though, if a Void Ray pops, then Satid should be able to overwhelm just because the Robo is useless tech versus that. And I think the Void Ray will be out in time, to be honest. So, I mean, Saint's already got 2 Stalkers. You could argue it's possible, but it does seem problematic. I feel like that Immortal, if it beelines straight to the low ground, it and the Stalkers manage to get through the cannons, this could work quite okay. But there's no gateways, no Stalkers building. Saint is not doing anything right now. Saint's floating a lot of money. Saint is floating a lot of money, starts their own Stargate here. It's not building Stalkers or anything. Oh my god, Saint's building a second Immortal, but the Void Ray's already started. It's only 20-30 seconds from finishing, maybe 20 seconds with Chrono Boost. Yeah, there's a lot of Chrono saved up as well here for Satid. That Void Ray's going to come out. There's only a few seconds for this Immortal to work. This is what I was worried about for Saint. You got the battery there as well, and the Immortal has to back off. Another Stalker is building for Saint. Saint's going to be able to build their own Void Rays, but I think Satid may have got them just because Saint going for the Robo, not the right call. In this scenario, the Cannon Rush player always wants to get a forward Stargate up. Usually you have to either go 3-gate Blink, or even just 3-gate Stalker without Blink, or you need to try and go for the Stargate. Wow! Oh my god, you need to be shot in real life N-word. Whoa! Jeez, take a deep breath there, Saint. Satid's like, well, you're a random player. Guess what? People are going to cheese you if you're random. If you're random, you don't tell your race, a lot of people will throw cheese. And that's very valid. You need to die in real life, says Saint. There's just something about saying in real life that really takes the sting out of it. I don't know if you agree with me. Wow, fucking N-words polluting ladder non-stop. Jesus. Here I was like, oh cool, a technical player is showing they can play with sub 100 APM. And then they're saying, hang yourself, monkey, as well. Jeez. Well, that went from 0 to 100 very quickly. I actually thought Satid was going to be the one doing a bit of a suboptimal cannon rush that got angry, but it turns out Saint is the crybaby. You immediately go, racist place, very racist place as well. Even brought out the monkey one. Very, very interesting. I think the previous game was a little bit funnier, to be honest. Burn Your Family Rat has a bit more of a thing. This was just surprising. This just reminded me of how random it could just come far out left of field. Now, what's great for me personally, guys, is Saint had this held. If they just kept building Stalkers, they could have had 4 Stalkers easily out to beat that first Void Ray with the shield battery. They also had no reason to go Robo, right? Could have gone either 3-gate Stalker and then just killed the first Void Ray with like tons of Stalkers and broken down and just ran down the ramp, or built their own Void Rays. But Saint will never learn that lesson. And this is what is always, you should always, even if a player beats you while being a dickhead, just remember, in the long run, they're always going to slow down their own learning and progress because they're too busy basically being angry over everything to actually learn simple lessons. And that's exactly what's going to happen with Saint. Saint's too busy getting angry, is probably going to keep going robo first every time versus a cannon rush, even though it's always the proxy void ray outside your base. But I mean, eventually they'll learn, but it'll probably take like way more games than it should, simply because they're too busy getting angry rather than opening their eyeballs. Oh, and of course we've got another screenshot here. Oh, okay. Yep. Wow. Yep, you're an N-word. You need to die in real life. Kill yourself, monkey. Trash tier. R-words. Polluted. Yep, okay. I mean, this is just so old, so recycled. It's just boring at this point, guys. Try to be fresh. If you're going to be out there raging on the ladder, just my little 2 cents, try to come out with something just a little bit more spicy, a little bit more fresh. Come on, bring me those fresh insults. Threaten to burn your opponent's family rat. It keeps it exciting. Thanks so much, everyone. Please don't forget to submit your games if you have any crazy encounters on the ladder. Links are below. And don't forget to check out the Patreon as well. A big thanks to everyone who's been on there supporting. A special thanks to Jacob G and Maxan, Al Leviathan, and D-Town Express Conductor. If you guys enjoyed the games, click on one of the ones on screen. Check out some of the salt mines. See you next time. Sorry for we've already dragged on the outro too long. See you guys later. Bye. Bye.